What happened in the Chinese Grand Prix? Welcome to a brand new video on the channel. Today we are reviewing the Chinese Grand Prix together with Brian. Hello Brian.
Hello.
Well, let's just get right into it. Which is of course the start, where there were also some people that didn't
Like Lando, Oscar, Bortoletto, and Albon not even starting the race, which is explicitly interesting because this is the first time that both McLarens don't start a race since the US Grand Prix in 2005.
That's a really long time ago. But for the rest, not anything really notable about them. So we're just gonna go straight into the start.
I mean,
Where oh,
one thing I would like to add, it's also I think the second time in history that a McLaren doesn't start two races in a row. The one other time it happened was all the way back in 1969 when Bruce McLaren himself did not start two races in a row. Uh, so it's a bit of an annoying start for Piastri to say the least, knowing he
having
can
not driven a single lap.
in Grand Prix
Ooh.
setting at the moment. So we can both say we've done the same amount of Grand Prix laps as Oscar Piastri this year.
Let's go! Now I'm gonna be an F1 driver.
Definitely.
But then we come to the start, where honestly they all had a okay start in the front, but you just have the Ferraris. They just have something special in that start. What do you think about that, Brian?
I mean, I definitely think they have the best launch of everyone. I mean, they can start. In my opinion, I think even if they start P7, they could go to first. You know, it it just depends on their launch, not even on the launch of the rest. Even if Mercedes is the best launch they can have, Ferrari just overtakes them. There's no chance of them overtaking. You know, it's always Ferrari first into T1. No chance.
Yeah, but at least Antonelli stayed in front of Charles, just
If
barely, but he did stay in front.
I think if Charles also overtook Antonelli, it would have been a harder race for the Mercedes to win, because then they could have like slowed down the Mercedes, because overtaking two Ferraris is harder than overtaking one, especially when you're fighting your own teammate as well. So I would hope to see another race where both Ferraris get ahead of both Mercedeses, but I don't think that's happening in the near future.
Yeah, that really covers kind of everything. So we can just move straight on to Max, whose start was not great. Yeah,
I mean, we've seen it in the sprint, we've seen it in Australia. I don't think that Red Bull has something in it to to get off that line. I mean, I think it's the opposite of a Ferrari. If they start P7, they'll definitely go to P20.
yeah,
So yeah, no, the it's almost expected that Verstappen doesn't have a great start, but at least he has the opportunity to fight back. You know, I think he got all the way up to like P9 at some point. I mean, knowing he started 7th but went down to P20, finishing or like getting up to P9 isn't too bad in my opinion.
I think he even got higher than that, but
Yeah, maybe
it doesn't really
P7.
matter because in the end he DNF'd. Huh?
I maybe got up to P6 at some point, but like yeah, but both McLarens not starting, it's pretty easy to get up to P6 in my opinion.
Yeah,
I
indeed,
mean,
because you just
Oscar,
have the top three team over, yeah, the top two teams, and then the Red Bull because McLaren did not start at all.
yeah, exactly.
What a surprising one from Alpine.
Definitely surprising from Alpine, especially in that qualifying. Knowing Colapinto started P12, he could have definitely gone into Q3, knowing the gap was only 5 thousandths of a second away from that elusive P10 spot in Q2. But after the start, they were like they had like I think one of the best starts behind the Ferraris. I mean, going up to P5 and P6. I mean, Gasly started P5, knowing that McLaren's didn't start, and Colapinto goes from 10th to 6th, which is pretty good for him. But then knowing Verstappen went backwards, it's still what is it, 3 positions in the right direction for them,
Yeah,
which
definitely.
uh, is, in my opinion, pretty surprising because I wouldn't expect like I mean, I said at the beginning of the year Gasly for the world champion. I mean, he could go for it if he has the right machine and the sprinkles of luck with the Mercedeses and the McLarens and the Ferraris. I don't know, crashing with each other or something.
Well,
I
let's
mean,
be
I could.
hopeful.
I mean, if there is a surprising winner, it's either Gasly or Behrman, in my opinion. The others don't have
Oliver Bergman. Do 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 do. Anyway, that was all about start, I think. And then we had the Hajar spin.
I mean,
Ay, ay, ay.
coming onto the main straight on the inside of Behrman, and he just goes no grip on the back end. He spins out. Behrman just misses him on like with like a millimeter to spare on the outside. No problems in overtaking him. I think Behrman lost a few positions. I don't know for sure. Did not write it down. I think he lost like 2 or 3. But I mean, that's better than ramming right into Hadjar.
Yeah, and quite crazy, he went around the outside, which you basically never really see. On the
I mean, I
outside,
think
like outside of the track, he went past.
yeah, I think he. I mean, he could have gone to the inside, but in my opinion, the like more logical choice was going on the outside here, because you never know where the car is going. I think the outside is, in my opinion, the better option because the outside was so wide there. You don't know if he's moving more to. He was kind of moving towards the outside, but not that fast. So I think the outside is definitely the best option here. Yeah,
Yeah, but just not something you'll see often
very
at all.
often, definitely no.
Then we of course have the fight for P1, where Kimi Antonelli was hunting Lewis down, but actually at the start it looked like Hamilton was running away with it because he was for a little bit more than a second ahead of Antonelli.
Yeah, I don't know for how long, but I think he did for a little bit at the end of lap 1, which like made it look Hamilton had a chance to win in China. I mean, he did win the sprint there last year, so that definitely gives him chances. But now the cards are dealt extremely different from last year, so we'll never know if Hamilton can win a race this year if the Mercedes rocket ships keep their rocket ship engines going.
Yeah, the Mercedes is looking quick.
Quick car, quick car, quick car.
Then
Yeah, that's
Antonelli
something that,
eventually overtakes, of course.
and he never even got close again. I think, yeah,
Yeah, he never
complete,
really had to look back.
never.
Like, realistically. Like, he's had Colapinto behind him, but what's Colapinto
Yeah,
gonna do on a Mercedes? Like, it's the same
yeah,
engine, but that's how far it goes.
that's definitely how far it goes. Yes.
Also, George, who of course fell back to P4 at the start, he claimed all the way back to P2, right behind Kimi Antonelli. Also,
Yeah, I
not
think
really
he.
too far behind, was he?
No, I think it was only like 2 seconds or 3, maybe at the time. I did not write it down, but it was like, yeah, I think a second or two, not that much.
Then on lap 9, you had some boxers who go in the
Early hitters,
pits.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, they were surprising to me. I wasn't expecting people to pit that early.
they were just
Uh,
through the tires, man. They
I
just
mean,
went
yeah.
through the
I mean,
tires.
I wasn't expecting it from like a Max, but like Sainz kinda get that. He started on, but like Verstappen started on the soft, but like Lawson and Sainz pitted on lap 10, like lap 9 with a medium. That's early, especially
Yeah,
knowing
very early.
especially knowing that a lot can happen in this race. I mean, we've seen 4 people not starting. We know uh, the Audis, the Cadillacs, the Astons can just stop at some point. I mean, surprising to pit that early. You could see a random safety car, which eventually happened a lap later.
Yes, with Lance Stroll, of course. And then
But
basically
yeah,
it looked
Marcus
like
father.
everyone was just going into the pits. But
Yeah, but lap 10 is
yeah,
still an early if you want to go for the one-stop strategy.
so they didn't
But
all go into the pits. That's why you had a Colapinto and a Ocon
in
completely
P2 and
out of
P3,
place.
which like for the race did not really matter in the end. The result did not change that much by them driving that high, but it made it look but it made it look like Colapinto actually had a chance to get the lead. I mean, I was kind of expecting it, knowing the Alpines have that great start, that great start, and the Mercedes don't. But then he flopped it on the safety car restart.
Yeah, it was like he was
Colapinto,
sleeping.
yeah, a lot of wheel spin didn't make it easy for him. Ocon, but surprisingly, Ocon did not have a chance. So I think he drove in P2 for like a fair few laps, like 2 or 3 or something, before like Hamilton got past them. Yeah, Hamilton was the first one to pass them. But I think this is the first time Colapinto drives in the top 6. I think the Dutch commentator said it somewhere. I don't know for sure. But that's a fact that surprised me because I was I mean, I know Colapinto doesn't drive in the front too much, but I would expect him to drive in the top 6 somewhere, you know? Especially with those safety car moments and stuff. I would expect it to happen earlier. But it happened at some point.
Yeah, then on lap
Yeah.
14 we had the safety car restart, of course.
With Colapinto messing it up, but still not enough for Ocon to overtake him. Behind that, we have, like, who was it at the restart there? I think Russell and then Hamilton. Yeah, Russell
Yeah,
and then Hamilton.
but on lap
Uh,
15 it wasn't Russell there. It was Leclerc who overtook Russell
yeah.
on lap 15 into turn 1. And then suddenly it was
Yeah.
looking very good for the Ferraris.
Again, we still somewhere. Do we still have like the Colapinto and Ocon somewhere? They're still somewhere in between, or are they already overtaken by all 3 of them? I think they were already overtaken by all of them.
Yeah, it was quite quick that it happened.
Yeah, quite quick, like 2 or 3 laps. Yeah,
Because by lap
but
18 they were already into the next fight.
yeah, they were
Colapinto and
fighting with
Ocon.
Colapinto, Ocon, Behrman, Gasly, and Verstappen were all kinda fighting for that P5 position of Colapinto. It's like, oh yeah, Ocon had the chance to fight Colapinto, but Behrman also had the chance to fight Ocon, with Gasly then again having the chance to fight Behrman, and so on and so on. But we saw multiple overtakes. We saw Ocon getting past Colapinto getting past Ocon again, then Behrman overtaking Ocon, and all sorts of fighting with, in the end, I think Behrman and Verstappen coming out as the clear favorites. But I think then you're already looking at like lap 25 or something.
Yeah, it was
So like the fight went on like 7 laps or something.
a long battle.
It was a long battle, which was heavily interrupted by Leclerc just bombing Hamilton into turn 14 on lap 24.
Yeah, a massive dive bomb from Charles to get past Hamilton. And then
taking it instantly.
let's
Yeah.
quickly finish this race off, because we've only had a few more moments for the rest of the race. Like in lap 46, a massive moment happened, which is Verstappen DNFing. He was driving slowly, and then you hear the team radio, "We need to retire the car."
Yeah, I think he had a leakage.
Then we had another moment, or notable moment, on lap 48, with Ocon coming into the pits for his penalty, which he still had to serve, because of the collision with Colapinto, of course. But then we saw a weird thing, which were massive bolt cutters. Like, those massive bolt cutters? Because,
Yeah, they just chopped away
yeah,
the broken part, which I wasn't
because of the
expecting
crash.
to see it like that. Yeah. I mean, they just drove in, did the 10-second penalty, did the pit stop, and then out of nowhere, some guy comes with the pliers and he just chops them off, everything.
Yeah. And then for the rest of the race, it was
Like the last.
basically dead. Yes, 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 yes. On lap 53, there was one more scare though. For Kimi Antonelli, the driver driving in first by far, like 9 seconds in front. And he had massively looked up into the penultimate corner of the lap. Or the hairpin that it was. And
Yeah,
it
it
looked
lost
so
him.
scary.
Yeah, it lost him about 2 to 3 seconds, but
He must have also
it
had a
did
massive flat spot on the tire.
likely. Yeah, but for him, I mean, he probably drove safer from then on because his gap went from 10 seconds to 7 seconds and in the end being 5.5. So I think he slowed down a little bit on those last few laps just to make sure that he keeps the win.
Yeah, because you don't want to throw your maiden win away.
No, not like this. No. I mean, I would say this is one of the most dominant maiden wins we've seen in the near future. I
In
mean,
the
we've
near
obviously
future.
in the near in
Yeah, bro.
yeah, near future. No,
In the recent past.
in the recent past, exactly. No, I mean wasn't I mean we've seen Norris winning his first race. Wasn't that was with a lucky safety car somewhere in Miami, right?
Yes,
I think it was.
indeed. It was in
But no,
Miami.
yeah, but we saw Antonelli coming in first with Russell only 5 seconds behind. Knowing what all happened to Russell, not too bad from Russell.
Then
Um,
another 20 seconds behind that
yeah,
was
20
Lewis
seconds.
Hamilton in the Ferrari, with 3 seconds behind him, of course, Charles Leclerc. Then we had
Yeah, and
Oliver
then
Behrman.
further 30 seconds behind.
Yeah,
I mean, in the end, it wasn't too far with Gasly. So it could have been surprising if Verstappen was still in that gap there, because the gap is only 2.4 seconds.
yeah.
And I mean, and then it's another 30-second gap as well.
To Lawson, then you had Hadjar, Sainz, Colapinto, Hulkenberg, Lindblad, Bottas, Ocon, Perez, and then the DNFs slash DNSs. Verstappen, Alonso, Stroll, Piastri, Norris, Portoletto, and Albon. Yes, what would you say of these results is your most surprising result of this weekend?
Most surprising of this weekend is I would say both McLaren's not starting.
Both McLaren's not starting, yes. That
And that
is a big one.
I
Is
hope
that
we
all
see
you
more
wanted to
from.
say?
Yeah, I just hope we can see more from Berman and Berman actually put in a fight for P5 in the championship. I would just love to see that.
I actually have one more thing to note, and that is the podium ceremony, where it wasn't Kimi Antonelli, but it was Kimi Raikkonen getting his first win in Formula One.
Yeah, I actually watched the podium and did not notice that.
Yeah, because you're also not listening for it. You're just
No.
thinking, oh, it's just them rambling about, oh, first winner, blah blah blah. This is the FIA president, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that is it. I hope you all liked this, and if you did,
Rundown of the race.
we will see you again in the next one.
See ya.
Goodbye. Like, comment, subscribe.